Hi everybody, this is the baseball hit, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut 2. Hope you like this video and smash that subscribe button. So this is the Baseball Hut 2. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball's free agency for next year. There's nothing wrong about talking about next year, might as well. Deal with the present, we can also talk about the future too. But MLB posted this 10 free agents, the top 10 free agents, and where they're going to go. It's a very interesting article, and I'm going to read it to you. The top 10 free agents is offseason plus one bonus, and I'm a little bit shaky about the bonus. As we head toward the stretch run of the 2024 season, clubs around the majors are surely beginning to formulate their plans for the upcoming offseason. While last year's hot stove was dominated by a pair of players who wound up together in Los Angeles, Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, this year's free agent crop features some high-profile names that will be coveted by a number of clubs. Aside from those two players, the rest of the free agent class from last year was not very inspiring, in my view. They just weren't. I think we can all agree on that one. They weren't very inspiring. I thought this could have been a much better group. And a lot of players did not sign until we got to spring training. J.D. Martinez, BLSchel, Matt Chapman, Cody Bellinger. These guys didn't sign until the very end. To the very, very end, if not the end of spring training. There is a note to this. We expanded this list to the top 25 close to the start of free agency, then updated regularly throughout the offseason. A few notable names who just missed the top 10 include Cody Bellinger is going to opt out of his contract. Marcell Ozuna, stay away from him. He's got a club option. He should stay in Atlanta, and any team should stay away from him. Shane Bieber, who's coming off of Tommy John surgery. Christian Walker, he's going to have a few teams on him, possibly the New York Mets. Nathan Eovaldi, he's got a vesting option. If he doesn't hit that option, I would expect a lot of teams in on him. The Mets should be in on him. Tanner Scott and Teoscar Hernandez. First up, Juan Soto, who's going to be 26. It's extremely rare for a player of Soto's caliber to reach free agency before his age 26 season, making the four-time All-Star a bit of a hot stove unicorn. Bryce Harper and Manny Machado were in similar situations after the 2018 season, and each cashed in with free agent deals worth at least $300 million. Soto's price tag should be significantly higher, with most industry insiders projecting a deal of at least 10 years and $500 million. He will get the second largest contract in baseball history. Overall. People have sort of been telling me that Ohtani doesn't have the largest contract. They keep doing the semantics about the deferred money. It's still over $700 million. According to this, there are three teams in on this, and I think this is pretty accurate. They put them in order. I don't know why they put them in order like this, but whatever. Giants, Mets, and the Yankees. That's about right. The Giants have been desperate, absolutely desperate to sign a big prospect, a big player for a long time. And really since Bryce Harper, they've been trying to sign a player, and it just hasn't worked out. I mean, they tried to sign Harper. He went to the Phillies. They tried to sign Aaron Judge. He went back to the Yankees. They tried to sign Carlos Correa. He had problems with his physical. He went back to the Mets. The Mets didn't like his physical. He went back to the Twins. But I don't see him signing with the Giants because of the fact that they have a very difficult ballpark for a left-handed hitter. Only one left-handed hitter was able to navigate how difficult it is to hit there, and that was the legendary Barry Bonds. Then we have the Mets and the Yankees. The Mets are going to be in on this till the very end. The Yankees are going to have quite the tiger to deal with because the Mets did not spend money last year, and they're going to be all in on this player. Especially since if they lose Pete Alonso, they're going to be hot and heavy for Juan Soto. Unless Soto tells the Mets he doesn't really want to sign here, they get the feeling that he's not going to sign here. The Mets are going to be in on him, and they're going to work very hard to get him. The next player up is Corbin Burnes, right-handed pitcher. He's 30. Burnes has been everything the Orioles could have hoped for in 2024. Given Baltimore the workhorse ace it has been seeking. Burnes had no issue moving to the American League for the first time in his career, while the Orioles are likely to do everything they can to keep the four-time All-Star and 2021 National League Cy Young Award winner. Burns, who's headed for his 5th straight top 10 Cy Young finish and could become the 8th pitcher to earn the honors in both leagues, should have a number of clubs competing for his services. They mentioned here the Mets, the Orioles, the Red Sox. I would also mention the Dodgers. The Dodgers could certainly use some pitching. But the Mets are going to be in just due to the fact that David Stearns developed Corbin Burns with the Brewers. So that is why I mentioned them specifically. And I would think that the Yankees will be in. The Yankees are always in on these players. And maybe possibly the Phillies and possibly maybe the Rangers. Next up, BLSchel. And remember last year's infamous Boris 4, Schnell struggled to find the deal he wanted after winning the second career Cy Young Award winner, a Cy Young Award. He ultimately landed with the Giants for 2 years and $62 million. Well, he's gonna opt out. There's no doubt. Schnell is 2-0 with a 1.03 ERA and a no-hitter in his 8 starts since July 9th. And that should result in him opting out the final year of that deal. Absolutely. They mentioned here the Giants, the Padres, and the Rangers. I would also put the Mets there. I put the Yankees there. Possibly the Red Sox. Possibly the Orioles. It'd be interesting to see how much money the Orioles spend now. They have new ownership. They said they're going to do everything they can to build a big team. And they already have a big team. Next up, Alex Bregman. Bregman's breakout season in 2018-19 saw him average 36 homers, 108 RBIs, and a 970 OPS. And he finished in the top 5 of AL. But he's not played well. I mean, his numbers have dropped over the last few years. That's the one thing. And he's had an okay year. But I'd be very careful on him. He's 31, too. 31, I mean, also. They mentioned the Astros, the Diamondbacks, and the Mariners. I don't see the Astros bringing him back. The Astros had no issue other than the smallest man in the world, Jose Altuve. They have not signed any of their free agents that have gone to free agency, and he'll be another one. I don't see him re-signing with the Astros. I see the Yankees maybe in on this, possibly the Mets, although I don't see that so much. The Astros, they mentioned here, Diamondbacks, and the Mariners. But that's who I see. Next up, Max Fried, who's 31 years old. He's with the Braves right now. Fried's one of the few homegrown Braves who hasn't signed a long-term extension, putting him on track to test the free agent market following his second All-Star campaign in 3 years. Left-hand's 3.62 ERA, 21 starts, actually his highest since 2019. But Fried, a 3-time Gold Glove winner, will be one of the top starting pitchers available this winter. I don't see if the Braves were serious about bringing him back, they would have signed him. And he's probably not going to take a discount, and the Braves are cheap. So they're not going to be giving him a lot of money. They're not going to go overboard for that, or any free agent for that matter. They very much go on the cheap for their free agents. They mentioned here the Cubs, the Padres, and the Rangers. I can see him going to the Padres. Definitely. The Padres are always in on these players. Anthony Santander. He has been a solid player for several years, but he picked the right time to have a career-best season. A first-time All-Star this year, Santander has already set a career high in home runs, and his 834 OPS will be the highest in a 162-game season. As much as he's meant to the Orioles, Santander is likely to wind up elsewhere because Baltimore has a wealth of young outfield talent, and a number of clubs will be seeking a power-hitting corner outfielder. Yeah, this is like the one area that the Orioles don't have a problem with. They may be looking for pitching, bullpen help in the offseason. Now, their season's not done, that playoff team. But their team has a strong lineup and have very good everyday players, even the minor league still. Even the trade that they made with for Trevor Rogers 2 years this July, they still have a very strong farm system of position players. And they're going to let this player go. Corbin Burns is a different story, but this guy will not be, they'll let him walk, And it mentioned here the Cardinals, the Guardians, and the Phillies. I also put the Mariners here too, by the way. Next up, Matt Chapman. Chapman struggled to find a deal he liked last offseason before signing a $54 million contract with the Giants, one which includes opt-out clauses after 24 and 25. Chapman got off to a subpar start where he hit 206 with 5 homers and a 599 OPS. But he's excelled in his past 81 games, posting 877 OPS with 15 homers while playing his usually strong defense at third base. Barring injury or a terrible finish to his year, Chapman seems likely to opt out and test the market again this winter. Though return to San Francisco with a new deal wouldn't be a surprise. Okay, I'm going to mention a couple teams here. The Astros, the Giants, the Mariners, put the Yankees in this too. I put the Mets in this as well. There's a few teams that I could see. But the Mets don't do that if they didn't think that Mark Vientos could be a regular third baseman going forward. Next up, Pete Alonso. I have a video on Pete Alonso in a couple of days. Alonso will be one of the better power bats on the market. And although Christian Walker's having a stronger season and possesses a better glove at first, Alonso gets the nod between the two of his for his age. Rocco will play next year at age 34. The Mets slugger has been one of the most reliable power threats since he debuted in 2019, averaging 44 home runs per year in his first 4 162-game seasons. Alonso has 27 homers in 125 games this season, hitting 8 of them to go along with a 901 OPS in 30 games since the break. I'll mention a couple of things about Pete. His home run total is fine, but the RBI total is way, way lower than what his average is. According to this article, the potential fits are the Mets, the Astros, and the Cardinals. I would put the Brewers there. I'd put the Cubs there, because they've been mentioned for a long time. And I guess the Diamondbacks too, I guess, because they'll probably be needing a first baseman next year. Willie Adames on this list. It's going to be 29. A number of top shortstops have hit free agency in recent years with Corey Seager, Trey Turner, Xander Bogaerts, Carlos Correa, and Dansby Swanson. Adames will be the top shortstop available this winter, and although his defensive metrics haven't been as strong as in 2024, he remains a solid fielder. I only see him going to the Dodgers. They mentioned the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, and the Giants. I see him going to the Dodgers. He's a perfect fit for them. They need a shortstop badly. Number 10, Jack Flaherty. Again, Flaherty's first dalliance with free agents didn't go well a year ago, so he bet on himself with 1 year. I would mention he's gonna go to the Dodgers. He's gonna sign with the Dodgers. They mentioned the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Red Sox. The word was that the CAA, which is his agent service, that the word was that they were pressuring the Tigers to trade him to the Dodgers because their headquarters is in Los Angeles. So I don't see him going anywhere but sign a contract with the Dodgers. And he wanted to be there too. Finally on this list, I don't think he's going to come here this year because the word from Japan is that he's not having a good year in Japan. This is right-handed pitcher Roki Sasaki, who's 23. Now, he would have to sign as he would not be having to go to the posting system. He would have to sign like a minor league deal. He'd be part of the international amateur signing bonus pool, and under those rules, he wouldn't be able to sign until after the new year. So I don't think he's gonna ask to opt out of his deal with Japan, with the team that he plays with. But they mentioned here the Dodgers, the Orioles, the Yankees. I would mention the Mets as well, the Cubs, the Red Sox. Any team that can afford a pitcher or just do the international amateur signing bonus pool. So anybody can talk to him. It's all about whether he's made available by his team in Japan. But I don't see him leaving Japan because he's not had a good year. That's the rumor that I've heard. Well, let me know what you think about this video. This is a rather longer video than normal. And I want to thank you for coming by. Please subscribe to Baseball Head 2, and I'll see you.